Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Janoy and I'm here with one more video breaking down one of my trade setups and what was the thought process in taking this trade. Alright, I want to also talk about some of the things that I did wrong with this trade and what did I essentially do correct, and how do I take this experience and use it to mold me as a trader as I move forward. All right, so guys, we're going to talk about Nio here today. I'm not a big herd trader, so typically when there's a lot of people talking about EV stocks and all of this stuff, I won't tend to gravitate to that kind of stuff and use that to make any of my decision. As you know, on this channel, I only trade the charts. All right, so any decision that I'm going to be making in regards to taking any trade has to be 100% influenced by what the chart is actually saying. I don't really, make the decision based on the news. Yes, if the news, supports the specific area that, price action is moving into and it fits into my trading system, then I will actually take advantage of that move, whether it's down or up. All right, so let's jump into the chart and start talk a little bit about what in Nio that sparked my interest, and we're gonna break down the actual chart and see, did I take the trade at the right place? Did I have the right mindset? Did I close the trade out too early? Or what else could I have possibly done differently in this situation right here? All right, so guys, first thing, we can see that around this level, Nio was pretty much in a uptrend. We did take a trade on this thing right inside here. A break out of a quick bull flag. We did catch this. A run up, pull back. Again, we did catch it when it break out of this here. So that was like 2 times that I've traded Nio before, and now basically this is the 3rd time that I've attempted to trade this stock, because I only take a trade whenever the chart actually showed me that, hey, there is a potential area at play or a setup here that I'm used to or that I recognize, and I like to trade it because I know the characteristics of this specific pattern. I know how it should play out. I know how price action should move in a predictable way that fits into my system. All right, so after they break out of the uptrend here last time, they had a very nice run, making a all-time high at 56.94. From there, guys, the stock started pulling back down. All right, so this is where I started to pay a little bit of attention to the stock again, because right in this level there was a horizontal support when price was going up, and then when it got back to this level the second time around, let me change this color here. When price got back to that very level the second time around, you see that price held. I was thinking that maybe this was going to be the time that price would try to go back up, but it didn't. Price run up and then quickly started sliding back down. All right, so just from that movement right there, we can see that price was just in a slight pullback right inside this area. That was the pullback. So what was I looking for? I was looking to see, all right, does price come back down and hit a support level that I recognize? Yes, price did come down and hit the support, but for some reason I wasn't paying attention right here when price hit the support. And then even if I was looking, was that enough information for me to come in here and put my money at risk right at this level? Would that be enough? Just the fact that price held the support right here, was that enough? What else could I have used as a confirmation sign to make me feel comfortable to take on this trade? Well, I did not see it right here. When I saw it was this day, the 2nd day of the bounce. All right, so the 2nd day of the bounce, I asked myself, well, do I want to get in the trade below the EMAs? For me, because of the amount of power I'm going to put behind the trade, no, I did not want to get back into the trade that early. As well as you can see that there is a quick downtrending line here. The stock is not in a downtrend, but the pullback here was still, we can see price sold off at that level there, and then it came down, hit the support on the horizontal basis, and then from there price propelled and price run up. Now, two things could have happened here. At this level, price could have just hit into the EMA and then continue to go lower. So that was one of the reasons why I decided, hey, if I'm going to take the trade, I'm going to wait a little bit just until price is able to clear the EMAs. Then that will give me a little bit more solace, a little bit more comfort that, hey, at least price is able to recover above all the EMAs short term, and then there is a potential opportunity that price can run at least from here to test back the all-time high. All of this is potentially at this point. So I had to make a decision. So when I see price hold at this level, I'm like, well, that looks good. I like it. It closed above the EMAs. So right at the close, I went in and I took on a 10 contract position, which controlled 1,000 shares. One contract of option controlled 100 shares. All right. So I got in right on this day around 45. My option cost $19. So basically, you add the 19 to the 45 here, and it put my break even somewhere up here. Okay. So now, in order for me to make money on this play, I had an expiration option expired in June. So price needed to get to the break even level, which was around 50. And all my extrinsic value would be transferred into intrinsic. Hence, I would have had profit, or I did have profit in this trade when it ran all the way up to here. It was at break even. Everything was looking good. I was up like $3,000 on this trade. And I'm like, I saw price opened higher, right? Price opened higher and immediately started to sell off. But typically I know that this stock tends to behave like that in the open. It will just open higher and then sell off a little bit, recover throughout the day, and then continue to go higher. I was thinking that, hey, this is gonna be just a typical day that in Nio was just gonna pull back a little bit, and then we would progress and continue to go higher because everything looked healthy. Price recovered above the EMA. Price is running up nicely. We got 1, 2, 3 days. Everything looks good. My target is gonna be, well, initially my target was at the break even, but then I said to myself, hey, maybe I can get a little bit more profit out of this trade, which that was me changing the initial plan of the trade. Because like I said, when I first got in, my plan was only to take the profit whenever my option gets to break even before the expiration date. Hence, I would have been profitable on the option, which I was. But for some reason I got greedy, and this is a very important element that you're gonna deal with while you're trading. You have to maintain a place of neutral balance where you're not allowing fear to interfere with your decision, and you're not allowing greed to interfere with your decision. Because when you're too biased on either side, you just cannot see things clearly for what they are. As for me, this was not a investment. It was just a trade. I was just looking to capitalize on that move from here potentially to up here. But as you can see, price pulled back to the moving averages. When we were pulling back on day one, I decided I'm just gonna cut this trade short because I don't want anything to go wrong. And then I'm end up stuck in this thing. So my $3,000 profit ended up get cut in half. By the time I got out, I was only up around $1,800. And then what was even more crazy was sometime while I was in the trade and the trade started pulling back, I decided that, okay, I'm gonna balance out the trade by selling a out of the money option from the current strike price, which I went out and sell the 55 strikes, and what this would have done, it would have balanced my position, so that even though the stock price is going down, the option that is out of the money will be losing more value, or losing, the value of that option would go down as my option go down, but it would go down faster. Hence, I would still be net positive for the same amount that I'm currently in the profit. And somewhere along the line, again, I changed that plan, and this is where, guys, you see that I end up having a small loss on Nio, which is, these are the 56 call options. I was just selling those in January to hedge against the position. So the summary of this video is that when I look back at everything, I think that I probably should have just taken earlier entry and watch the trade when it gets to the EMAs, and then from that point, if it breaks above, then I continue to hold the position, and all would be very, very nice. If at some point, given that I took an early entry, when price got to the EMAs, price started to fail, then I could have just shut it down and take the profit all in all, and then waited and then see if there was another opportunity to get back in. So I don't know, or maybe I should have just took the $3,000 profit while I had it and not let it pull back. I don't know. Was I wrong? Was I right? Which direction would you have gone, if you had undertaken this specific trade? Shoot it down there in the comments and let's talk about it. Guys, where do I see Nio going from here? Well, electric cars are still the future. So yes, these stocks are going to go higher. But one of the reasons why I was a little bit concerned while I was in this trade is that this stock is currently, or it was up around 2,000% year to date. And typically when stocks run up like that, me myself, I'm a little bit cautious because it can actually pull back down. Technically right now everything still looks good. I'm looking to see, does price hold this level and then project higher, at least testing the all-time high right here, and then we will see where we go overall from that level. The next thing is, it really going to be depending on what the overall market is doing, because if the overall market for some reason start pulling down extremely hard, then stuff like this, along with some of the other EV stocks, they're gonna be under some pressure. All right, so guys, I hope you find some value inside this video. If you did, hit a thumbs up down there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.